looking for this next big thing we're about to do because
we've got Isaac Goffin here with us. Hi, Isaac.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
So we're here talking about Survivor. I like to call Isaac our in-house expert, Survivor expert.
Anything we need to learn about Survivor, we learn it from Isaac, but the season has already started, so getting into episode 2. Isaac, how is it so far for you? Are you liking where they're going?
I'm liking where they're going. There's a lot of players, a lot going on, so it's very hard to keep up with, but I think I figured it out throughout the first episode. I've got used to the pace throughout the years.
Okay. So we just came off of the first episode of season 50 last week. We're getting ready for the second episode tonight. Can you kind of recap some of the high points of last week?
Last week, as all the players came back together, some of them had been pre-gaming before, some had previous connections, so all of them getting together and going through this celebration season Survivor. That was really exciting to see the beginning, the intro. 27 minutes when the show started into the first commercial break. So there was a lot going on throughout the episode. Future of a lot of Ozzy, so I wonder if he's going to be a major player this year. His rivalry with Coach seems to be continuing. We might see a little bit more of that in this next episode, but the Orange Color Tribe, they went out to the first tribal council and they voted Jenna, who was on the first season of Survivor. So they got an old school player out, and now they're going to have to figure out what to do next down. And then also the Magenta Color Tribe, Kyle injured himself during the first immunity challenge, and he had to be pulled from the game. He was really upset about that, but he tore his Achilles, and unfortunately there's nothing they could do in the island for him to stay in the game, so he's out. So that tribe is also trying to decide what's next.
So as a fan, though, Isaac, does that put the other team at more of an advantage because they lost 2 people, or doesn't matter? Should they bring in somebody from the outside to fill in his spot since he's out?
So in this, we're so early in the game where there's 3 tribes. One of them has all their members remaining, and 2 of them have are one down. So they're not going to do a merge right now, a swap, I think, in this episode. I think things are going to stay the way it is. But at this point in the game, they're going to just have to decide where our numbers at, where the advantage is at, and just move forward, because that's really how you move forward in Survivor, is just deciding your next steps. And sometimes you get lucky breaks, sometimes you get bad breaks.
So we have some pictures rolling right now of you participating in a challenge. That's something that's kind of unique about this season. They're letting the fans be involved a lot. Can you explain that to people that might not be familiar with Survivor?
Yeah, so the fans voted on before the season what they wanted to see in this season. So no rice to start the game. They have to fight to earn their supplies. There are hard hidden immunity idols, so that's fun. There's a bunch of different challenges, so I think a lot of these Survivor fans wanted to see more of a new era game for this season. So
it's like it's more interactive. So it wasn't just this whole thing with the immunity idol. There are other things that will happen throughout the season for fans?
Yeah, in the hands of fans. So we'll see what else happens. We'll see how the finale goes, how the final 3 are decided. So it's going to be very interesting. But ultimately, it's up to the players on the island to decide how to proceed forward with what the fans give them.
And then tonight is going to be episode 2. What are you expecting, or what do you think we'll be seeing tonight?
So I think this will be the episode for women. Obviously, start Women's History Month. The first episode focused on the men. The men were overly edited in the first episode. I think the women will be more focused on this episode. So on the Magenta Color Tribe, I would focus on the relationship between Aubrey and Genevieve. And then on the Orange Color Tribe, would focus on Suri and Ozzy. I think those 2 relationships might develop a bit more this season, and see if they're more see how they go. It's going to be really fun.
So orange, magenta, teal, and yellow?
There's just 3 tribes.
Just those 3. And so have you settled in on a favorite team just yet?
I do like the teal one. We've got Jonathan from Alabama on there. It's a very strong tribe. They have my favorite winner of the New York D on that season. She's very strong. She only had 1 confessional in the first episode, so I think she'll appear a few more times this episode because she was such a strong player her first time out.
Oh, so talk about the confessionals.
Those are always juicy on every reality show.
So when they put them aside and asked them what they're feeling about the game, some are very good at it, some are pretty bad at it. But an All-Star season, all of them I have are at least decent on it. Ozzy had 19 confessionals the last episode, so he did very well. Savannah, who won last season, she was a former TV news anchor and reporter. She had 9 confessionals, so she's been on a lot. So it's really just how you present yourself, how you tell the story of the game, because what the editors are looking for is how you tell the story of the game, what's your thought process. And so that's where the story kind of behind the confessionals. Sometimes they can be very funny.
I feel like in the end, when you go back to see them, all the other players might learn new things that were said in those confessionals that might rub them the wrong way. Does that happen a lot in the finales?
It has happened sometimes, and sometimes they're upset of what was not included. Sometimes there's these great confessionals we just never got to see.
All right.
Wow. It's got to make good TV.
We're going to keep learning from Isaac throughout the season. You can catch that new episode of Survivor 50 tonight. 7, correct?
7 to 8:30, so it'll be a standard 90-minute episode, but it should be jammed-packed.
No 3-hour
Not
like
a
last
3
time.
We'll take a little break from there into the finale.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Isaac, thank you, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes.